Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to another Hurricane Maria update. It's been a while since I do one of these for several reasons. In part because it's a bit depressing or frustrating, or different sentiments. In part because there's not much progress to be reported. In part because the topic is being politicized to a point where I don't know if it's even a good idea to keep talking about it. But people have been asking me, so here's an update. Uh, First off, let's start off directly with my family. My mom still doesn't have power. Neither of my two brothers have power. My in-laws don't have power. All of these people live in the metro area. My brother should be getting power soon. It's a situation with his building that is the reason why he doesn't have power. My other brother lives in a bit more remote area. They told him that the soonest that he can get power is probably February. Mom still doesn't have power. There aren't any brigades that are working there. I mentioned this because my mom's been without power in her house for 87 days. She did come over and stayed with me a month, but apart from that, she's been without power since August. People forget that Irma also hit Puerto Rico. It didn't hit it as bad as Maria, but it did do damage, and it did compromise the electrical grid. It is what it is. Um, Again, this is the metro area. This is where progress should be quickest, but progress is coming very unevenly in the island. I can't say for sure the situation because people are politicizing everything to the point where just getting the bare bones facts are a bit hard. I do know that people in Ponce have power, but two towns to the east that it was decimated, and they're still coping with getting regular food and water. A lot of people have found a new definition of normal, if normal even applies to this situation. In terms of, is there power in Puerto Rico? They say that the grid is electrified, blah, 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 blah. There's still a ton of people that don't have power. It's not by any means stable. If there's a good hardy storm, it can collapse the power again. Uh, Basically, it's a lack of materials right now. A lot of people are doing what they can to salvage material from light posts that went down, transformers that are salvageable. Um, but it is a really weird situation, and there's still a lot of help being received by a lot of people. There are very heated sentiments in terms of the situation in Puerto Rico and the Caribbean and the whole political situation. I'm not fond of politicizing anything, but apparently it's the favorite pastimes of the U.S. and Puerto Rico. People say that one person is not doing this, the other person is not doing that. Just pass a tax bill that if it goes through, it's going to be catastrophic for the Puerto Rican economy. But it is what it is. Everyone's pretty much hanging in there, but at least only to Florida, the estimate is about 210,000 people have gone from Puerto Rico to Florida. That's not counting Philadelphia, Chicago, New York, New Jersey, and Texas, which are the five other places that are getting an influx of Puerto Ricans. So by the end of this, probably more. I thought it was going to be 10% of the population, but probably more than 10% of the population will have left the island. Some and many for good, for different reasons. You're going to hear the word diaspora very often. Diaspora makes mention of pretty much people that have been displaced from their country for X or Y reason. Um, in the context of Puerto Rico, it's not just one thing; it's several things. I am part of the diaspora, and so is my wife, because we are professionals that sought. Well, particularly me. She was able to keep her job from Puerto Rico. I got a job in the States, so I moved. The other reason is to also pursue my indie author career, but that's besides the point. But that does make me part of the diaspora, and the problems that we face over here versus what people face in the island is that we don't have problems. We might have stress and anxiety and anguish because we want to help more, but problems? No. A problem is figuring out if you're going to get ice or water or food for the day, which is still the case for a lot of Puerto Ricans. This situation has revealed several things to me. First off, that there's a lot of people that care, and there's a lot of people that know me that care. It's been a very beautiful thing that people 2 months after the fact are now doing the Hurricane Maria tag, which you're invited to do. I'll put the link below if you haven't seen that. People supported the Humans for Puerto Rico effort in different ways. I'm still donating any money that I make from my books. It's not much, but it's something. And I'm also donating additional stuff. It's not like I'm just gonna donate what I make off sales. But the situation when you're outside of Puerto Rico is that you want to help, and you see different things, and you see people that genuinely want to help, and then you see people who want to be the saviors and stuff. And I'm not gonna get into that, but that's not my mentality, and I think it's energy being put to ill use. Because I saw it. I went to one donation drive. I wanted to go to others, but it's just been disorganized. There was a lot of drama with certain things in the city where I live. So I focused my efforts in trying to help in other ways and just try to offer information like this video. This video is one of my efforts. It's not like I'm doing like a huge difference. It's not like it's going to get 1 million views or anything, but people get an idea of what's happening, at least in the metro area. I have friends throughout the island, and people are obviously distraught and pissed and frustrated with good reason. And some are pissed at the people that leave the island, others understand. There's different levels and types of frustration, and everyone's just trying to cope. I see people bitching and almost losing their shit because they don't have, their Wi-Fi is lagging. That's the extent of their problems. I heard from someone who had to go to the hospital to get transfusions. In hospitals where you don't know what the level of cleanliness and health can be because the AC is down or it's running minimally. FEMA did take generators, so hospitals should be a lot more habitable. The USS Comfort left, and we're gonna get a lot of loans to help with the situation. A lot of people pull me to the side and send thoughts and prayers and stuff, and other people do thoughts and action. But it's a very complicated situation to handle. I'm not gonna be going to the island for Christmas because part of my family is coming to stay with me and my wife for a couple of weeks, and it's good to know that we can offer them a respite from the situation. I do think that although the metro area is getting more aid or progress is being quicker, I think better examples of humanity are being had in the island. This is based solely on idealistic thinking, because what I see in the metro area sucks. Try to imagine this is your house, and the house next to you has a generator that runs on diesel. The other house next to you has a generator that runs on diesel. You don't have diesel, but the two generators throw all the diesel fumes to your house. So that's an extra thing that people have to cope with, and not even someone offering a helping hand. By the same token, on the other side of the island in Mayagüez, I've heard stories of people saying, "Okay, I have a big pot. You got water? Okay, you got a stove. You got rice, and everyone just comes together and they make food and they eat together." Schools have restarted. The boil effect, the boil warning, is still under effect for the island. and yeah, it's pretty weird. I've been trying to get more to what I do normally, just because a lot of people were getting bummed out because I didn't have good news to share. And it got to the point where I wasn't even sure what type of difference I was making, because as long as you feel as if you're making a difference, of course you're going to do whatever you're doing. But when you see that the reaction is it's just people getting bummed out and you're not offering information, um, or useful information, because it got to the point where basically I was using Facebook to tell people where they could find gas and food, health services. I was able to connect people that needed an electrician, and I found a contact and I was able to refer them. Different stuff like that. It's just weird. Uh, when it started to feel as if I was making a lot of noise and not a lot of impact, I pulled back, and obviously, you get affected. And I also had my mom and my wife here, and I had to make sure that they were okay, and they were getting a bit affected from all that I was sharing. So I had to focus on that, and I did. And everyone does what they think is best, and that's what I thought was the best course of action. Um, I got back into writing in the month of November just to get to some sort of normalcy. My sort of normalcy, because here again nothing was affected. I am in Georgia. It's not like I felt the effects. All I get is hearsay and videos and pictures, and none of them are heartening. And I do have things that I have to write in regards to the whole situation and how it's been managed by the U.S. government, by the Puerto Rican government, by people in general. And wow, that's loud. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I'll probably go home in March. That's, I think, the soonest that I can go. My mom was like, "You're not coming to the island because you don't. There's nothing to do on the island. You're not an emergency personnel or anything." And I'm not about to upset my mom just because of X or Y reason. And if I can help in any other way, I will, and I am. So I still have links on my Facebook page. I will do another reevaluation and see if those are the best links that I think people can access to donate and help the cause. I'm not supporting the major or bigger causes for varying reasons. Some people agree with that sentiment, some don't. And all I'm gonna say is that if you can help someone, help them. Um, there's so many ways to help people that it's weird to see people say, "Oh, I couldn't do anything." Yeah, you could. Um, and I could do more, and we can all do more. And that's something that I realized a while back. We can definitely do more. We can care more. And if you see someone that's hurting, reach out and ask and check how they're doing. That's actually helping a lot. Because psychologically speaking, the island is still in a crisis, and it's going to continue being in a crisis, because imagine, it's pitch black and it's hot and there's mosquitoes and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and a lot of people are getting laid off and different things. The stories that you hear, I'm not gonna retell them. They're not. They're not hardening in certain things. Many are, and there are good things happening as well. And I'm trying to focus more on that and on anything that can help. But yeah, the island is still in trouble. Recovery's gonna be slow going. Right now, if they don't have a light post to use, they're pretty much nailing wiring to sturdy trees. I'm not making this up. You can check it out. And everyone's finding a new way to cope with the situation. Unfortunately, that means that a lot more people are leaving. What will that mean for Puerto Rico in the long run? I don't know. But the decisions that are being made by the United States will have dire repercussions with the island, financially speaking, and that will lead to different things. And once again, the island gets the short end of the stick. Um, until what point will it reach? I don't know. But I do know that I love my family, I love my island, I love my people, and if I can help them, and it's not to say that I love everyone. There are some shitty people on the island that are stealing. Security is still an issue, and it's a very serious issue. But you can either focus on that and all the bad things, or try to every time you speak to someone on the island, try to give them like any type of hope and motivation to keep going and do what they have to do. And if you can help them in any way, by all means. And if you see someone stateside that is from Puerto Rico and that's hurting, by all means reach out and ask them how are your loved ones, because I've done it on more than one occasion, and everyone says thanks for asking, because a lot of people just ask for a couple of weeks, which is weird. But then again, it's weird because I'm from Puerto Rico, and this is something that won't be just a bleep that came and left my newsfeed. This is home. And if I can help home, and I can help anyone, I'll do my best to do so. It's not that I will do it, it's that I'll do my best. And I think that's what everyone can and should do, their best. So sending my best, and much love to everyone on the island. I could give a more detailed report, but at least everyone that I know on the island is alive. Everyone's coping. There's progress being made, and a lot of people can have power for Christmas, and that would be a wonderful Christmas present for a lot of people. And I hope they pass that present forward, and they share that with people. If you have power and you can offer someone help, by all means do so. If you have an extra loaf of bread or an extra plate of food, offer it. There's gonna be someone who needs it. So yeah, let's leave it at this. Until next time, peace, love, maki rules, y bendición.